presented by Self-Value Tube, your path to daily success. Ever wondered why some people seem to have an endless well of motivation while others struggle to stay driven? Today, we're unraveling the psychology behind motivation to unlock the secrets of staying consistently inspired. In the grand tapestry of life, motivation weaves its vibrant threads through every aspect, from the mundane to the extraordinary. It's the fuel that propels us toward our goals, the spark that ignites our passions, and the driving force behind our pursuit of growth and fulfillment. At this juncture, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to all our listeners. Your curiosity and eagerness to learn are what make these discussions so lively and insightful. We're thrilled to have you here with us on this exploration. In the upcoming minutes, we'll delve into the fascinating world of motivation, exploring its psychological aspects and the intricate dynamics that determine its ebb and flow. From understanding the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to learning strategies for overcoming motivational blocks, we aim to provide you with actionable insights that can help you harness your drive. So, are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of motivation? If you're ready to unlock the secrets of motivation, hit that like button and let's dive in. Let's get started. Motivation isn't just a buzzword, it's a complex psychological phenomenon that drives our actions and decisions. So, let's put on our scientist hats and dissect this enigma called motivation. Imagine motivation as a gleaming, scintillating diamond. Just as a diamond has many facets, motivation too has multiple dimensions. The two core types of motivation are intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation is like an inner flame that ignites from within, fueled by the joy, interest, or satisfaction derived from the task itself. It's that spark you feel when you're engrossed in painting a masterpiece, penning a novel, or even solving a complex mathematical equation, simply because you love it. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation is driven by external factors. It's the shiny reward at the end of the task, or the fear of punishment that pushes us forward. Think about studying for a test to get a good grade, or working late hours to impress your boss. Now, understanding these dimensions of motivation is important, but to truly harness motivation, we need to delve deeper. Enter the motivation equation, a fascinating concept identified by motivational psychologist Daniel Pink. This equation comprises three key components: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Autonomy is our desire to direct our lives. It's about having the freedom to choose the path we want to tread. Mastery, the second component, is our urge to get better at something that matters. It's that itch to perfect the guitar riff or to nail the perfect souffle. Purpose, the last piece of the puzzle, is the yearning to do what we do in service of something larger than ourselves. It's the drive that fuels a firefighter to brave the flames or a teacher to inspire minds. These three elements, autonomy, mastery, and purpose, work together, creating a potent cocktail of motivation that fuels our actions and decisions. Understanding these elements is the first step towards harnessing motivation. But what happens when we encounter obstacles on this journey? Well, stay tuned, because that's what we'll be exploring next. Ever hit a wall when trying to stay motivated? You're not alone. We all face various hurdles on our journey to maintain motivation, and these challenges often come in the form of procrastination, fear of failure, and burnout. Let's start with procrastination. It's that nagging tendency to put off tasks that we find challenging or unpleasant. It's the "I'll do it tomorrow" syndrome that often turns into "I'll do it never." The antidote? Break your tasks down into manageable chunks. Conquer the mountain one step at a time. Next up, we have the fear of failure. This is a common stumbling block, especially when we're venturing into unknown territory. It's the voice in our head that whispers, "What if I fail?" The key to overcoming this fear is embracing a growth mindset. Remember, every failure is not a dead end, but a detour to a new route. Then there's burnout, that feeling of mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion that can come from prolonged stress or overwork. It's like running a marathon with no finish line in sight. To combat burnout, it's important to establish boundaries. Know when to say no, and remember to take time out for self-care. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. But here's the real game changer: cognitive restructuring. This is a psychological technique that involves identifying and challenging negative thought patterns. Imagine your mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. Cognitive restructuring helps you weed out the negative seeds and plant positive ones instead. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," stop and reframe that thought. Instead, tell yourself, I can do this, but I need a different approach. It's about turning self-doubt into self-belief, transforming obstacles into opportunities. Remember, it's normal to hit roadblocks on the path to maintaining motivation. The key is to recognize these blocks, use the right tools to tackle them, and keep pushing forward, one step at a time. So, we've tackled the roadblocks. Now, how do we keep the motivation engine running? Imagine a source of energy that comes from within, fueling your drive. That's intrinsic motivation. Picture this. You're a ship, and your passions and personal values are the wind in your sails. They propel you forward, cutting through the waves of daily tasks and challenges. This is intrinsic motivation at work. It's the inner force that drives you to do something, not because you're expecting a reward or fearing a punishment, but simply because you find it satisfying and meaningful. Now think about what truly matters to you. What ignites a spark within you? What values do you hold dear? These are the elements that can fuel your intrinsic motivation. When you align your tasks and goals with these passions and values, you're likely to find a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction in what you do. Suddenly, the task at hand isn't just a task, it's a stepping stone towards something that deeply resonates with you. But how can you harness this powerful source of drive? Goal setting is a fantastic starting point. When you set clear, attainable goals that align with your passions and values, you're essentially charting a course for your ship. You're laying out the path that your intrinsic motivation can propel you along. Yet, setting goals is only the first step. Tracking your progress is equally important. Imagine you're on your ship again. You wouldn't just set a course and then ignore your compass, would you? Similarly, tracking your progress helps you navigate your journey. It allows you to see how far you've come, adjust your course as needed, and stay motivated by the clear evidence of your progress. Intrinsic motivation is like a renewable source of energy. It's not dependent on external rewards or punishments. It's fueled by your own passion, values, and sense of purpose. It's about doing something because it matters to you, because it's meaningful, because it's satisfying. Intrinsic motivation is a powerhouse, but can external factors also stoke the fire of motivation? Sometimes we all need a little push from the outside to keep us moving. Let's talk about that. External motivators, like rewards, play a significant role in motivation. Imagine you're a marathon runner. The cheering crowds, the finish line, the medal, these are all external rewards that can boost your drive to keep going, even when your legs are screaming for a break. But here's the catch. While these rewards can give us a quick jolt of motivation, they're not always enough to keep us in the race for the long haul. That's where the power of accountability partnerships comes into play. Think of an accountability partnership as a motivational safety net. It's like having a running buddy in our marathon. They're there to keep pace with us, challenge us, and most importantly, to pick us up when we stumble. Having someone to share our goals with, to celebrate our wins and navigate through our losses, can provide a source of motivation that's more enduring than any medal. It's the push we need when our internal drive is running on empty. But let's not forget there's a balancing act here. Relying too heavily on external motivators can cause us to lose sight of our internal motivations, the passions and values that truly fuel our drive. External motivators can indeed give us that extra push, but how do we ensure this motivation lasts in the long run? The true test of motivation isn't just sparking it, but keeping it alight. You see, motivation is akin to a fire. It needs to be fed regularly, stirred occasionally, and sheltered from conditions that might extinguish it. So, how do we sustain this motivational blaze? Two key elements come into play here: habits and mindfulness. Imagine habits as the logs of wood that fuel our motivational fire. They're the routine actions that, over time, become automatic and require less cognitive effort. Habits such as setting daily goals, taking regular breaks, and practicing gratitude can contribute significantly to maintaining our motivation. These actions, repeated consistently, create a positive cycle that reinforces our drive and ambition. Now, let's talk about mindfulness. Picture it as the gentle breeze that helps our fire breathe and burn brighter. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and engaged in the current moment, aware of our thoughts and feelings without distraction or judgment. It helps us stay focused, reduces feelings of overwhelm, and allows us to appreciate our progress no matter how small. By cultivating habits that support our goals and practicing mindfulness to stay present in our journey, we create a sustainable environment for our motivational fire to thrive. Remember, motivation is a lifelong journey, not a destination, and every journey begins with a single step. We've taken a deep dive into the psychology of motivation, but what does it all boil down to? In essence, motivation is an intricate dance between intrinsic passion and extrinsic pressure. It's about aligning our tasks with our core values, setting achievable goals, and tracking our progress. Motivation is also about understanding and overcoming the obstacles that block our path. Procrastination, fear of failure, burnout. These are all common culprits. But with cognitive restructuring, we can change our negative thought patterns and overcome these mental blocks. Then there are the external motivators, rewards, accountability partnerships. These can provide that extra push when our internal drive needs a boost. But remember, the key to sustained motivation lies in building habits that fuel our drive and practicing mindfulness to stay present and avoid overwhelm. Remember, the power to stay motivated lies within you. Harness it and there's nothing you can't achieve. Before we wrap up, we have a small request. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up and share this video with someone who might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more content like this. We are interested in hearing your thoughts and experiences on motivation. What keeps you motivated? What blocks do you struggle with? And how do you overcome them? Leave your comments down below. Your engagement fuels our motivation to keep creating, and we truly appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay motivated, stay driven. Above all, stay safe.